I want to talk to you about the who, what, how framework. Who are you trying to attract? What is it that you're going to help them with? And how are you going to find them? And in this video, I'm going to break down the three so that you can get better lead generation campaigns off the ground starting today. So number one, who? Who is it we are trying to attract? Who is it that we are trying to have a conversation with? Who is it that we are trying to get in touch with us? Now, this is really, really important for the rest of the framework because, of course, if we don't know who it is we're trying to attract, then the next two steps are just simply not going to be easy or make sense at all. Now, when I talk about who, for example, in off-market lead generation, real estate property investment, what you're going to look to do is speak to a very specific type of person who is going to benefit from the what, which is the next step, the solution that we offer. Now, that could be, for example, someone who might be facing repossession. It might be someone who is emigrating. It might be someone who is divorcing. It could well be just someone whose sale has fallen through. It could be an investment purchase. Whatever it is, that person is going to be who we are thinking about at every stage of our lead generation campaign. So think strongly about the who that you are going to be looking for. Now, don't be too generic here. Don't go too wide. The problem with a lot of lead generation campaigns that I see is that they are too broad. They are too general. They're just not speaking directly at the who. So that means your conversion rates are going to be lower. The quality of leads, the quality of contact that you get is going to be poor. And of course, that's just going to end up being a lot of wasted advertising budget. So the more narrow you can be on the who, and remember, we can run multiple campaigns at different who's, but we want to start with one. So who is it that we want to speak to? So once we know the who, we need to know the what. What is it that our solution does for the who? What pain point does our solution do for our prospect, for our who? Now, of course, because we know what the who the who is, then we're also going to know what our solution is going to do for them. What is the problem that we are solving? What is it, that feeling, that emotion that they're going to get when that problem has been solved? Now, this is all about copy. It's all about the text, the wording, the headlines, the bulk of the text that you use in your advertising, in your social media posts, in your outreach. Because by knowing the who and the what we're going to do is prick the ears of interest of our target prospect who's going to read our messaging. They're going to identify themselves with what it is that we're writing. And of course, then they are going to get in contact with us. So really important who, then what. And then we'll move on to the third step, which is obviously finding these people so that we can solve their problem. And stage three, of course, is how. How are we going to get in front of our who? Now, that might be paid advertising, it might be social media marketing, it might be social media content, it might be going to networking meetings, it might be hosting an event. The reality is there are multiple lead generation tactics that you can use in order to attract the who to offer them the how. But of course, if you go about looking for them in the wrong places, again, you're going to spend a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of potential money on trying to find your who when in places that they're just not going to be. The how is really, really important when it comes to lead generation. I cannot emphasize this enough. Facebook ads will not suit every who. Google ads will not suit every who. Organic social media content will not attract every who. And you've got to understand that depending on who it is that you're trying to target, where they might be, and how understanding what their activities are, where they are looking, what they're reading, that's going to give you a much better chance of reaching the right people with the right messaging in order to get the right result, which of course is ultimately to contact you to solve their property problem. So hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully it has spurred you into thinking maybe about how you are currently thinking about your lead generation campaigns. Remember who, then the what, and then the how, and you'll definitely be building much better lead generation campaigns than you've potentially already set up.